If you were given another chance, a round-trip ticket back to the past right before the abyss of tragedy, would you have the courage to rewrite destiny? To confront the ghost that once tormented you and fight for every breath of the one you love most? That's exactly the ironic twist of fate, and also the special privilege that Evelyn receives. Rising from the ashes of devastating loss, she returns to a golden moment to save her beloved grandmother, the only anchor in her life. With memories of a ruined existence and a deeply etched vow, this time tragedy will not be a load to repeat. Welcome back to the breathtaking developments in Evelyn's captivating reincarnation story, where love confronts sinister conspiracies and every decision can change everything. Right now, don't take your eyes off the screen as we enter episode 2, Before Grandma Fell. In my previous life, I was too absorbed in my work at Aunt Amy's bakery, so busy that I didn't answer Grandma's call. The message, "Grandma's a bit tired, remember to eat dinner, dear?" remained in my inbox until late at night. Luckily, a neighbor heard a loud noise and took her to the hospital in time. She survived that time. It wasn't until I got home and saw dried blood on the floor that I realized what had happened. I remember holding her hand in the hospital, the stark white light illuminating her tired face. I burst into tears, apologizing endlessly for not being there when she needed me most. She just smiled weakly, placing her hand on my cheek. "You're still the kind child I trust, Evelyn." Her health stabilized after that, but Grace's cruel slanders stole her from me once again, taking away the only support in my life. This time, I've come back to life, and I swear I won't let that happen again. Everything in this house seemed unchanged after the night I woke up still, the faint scent of apple pie, the old rug the cats had torn, and my grandma sitting and knitting under the fireplace lamp. But as I observed more closely, every small detail began to become terrifying. She coughed more than I remembered. Each time she stood up, she needed a few seconds to steady herself. She smiled, but her eyes were a bit hazy, her gaze sometimes wandering. I secretly checked the medicine drawer in the kitchen. The blood pressure pill strip only had 3 pills left. The aspirin bottle was empty. There wasn't a single doctor's appointment on the calendar stuck to the fridge. I gritted my teeth. "Grandma, I've noticed you seem a bit tired these past few days." I began to probe, my voice gentle. Grandma Rose chuckled as if it were a trivial matter. "I'm old, my dear. Being tired is an everyday thing." I nodded, but my heart was churning. In the past, I was too caught up defending against false accusations, forgetting that the only person who always stood by me was also getting exhausted day by day. Not this time. I subtly changed everything in the house, like a soldier preparing for the most important battle of her life. Waking up even before dawn, I gently brewed her a warm cup of herbal tea, the kind she always loved to sip every morning. I secretly added plenty of fish and meat to her daily meals, trying to ensure she got enough nutrients to nourish her increasingly weakened body. Lately, every meal is better and more complete than before. "Where do you get so much money to buy all this?" I hesitated, then smiled. "The bakery has been very busy lately, Grandma." "I'm doing well, so Aunt Amy has been kind enough to give me more." In truth, there were no bonuses. I had advanced my next month's salary. It was fine. I'd work harder as long as Grandma ate better. I secretly scheduled a doctor's appointment under my name at the clinic near home, then made an excuse to take Grandma for a walk past it, hoping she'd agree to go in for a checkup. I carefully noted every dry cough, every frown when she gently rubbed her left chest, every night she tossed and turned unable to sleep. Each tiny detail became a warning sign, a reminder of the fragility of time and the necessity of action. And then, that day arrived, the day she had fallen before. I clearly remember that day in my previous life. I was working the afternoon shift at Aunt Amy's bakery, my hands swiftly kneading dough and decorating sweet cakes. The phone rang amidst the noise of the ovens and the lively chatter of customers, but I didn't hear it. The text message, "Grandma's a bit tired. Remember to eat dinner, dear," lay untouched in my inbox until night fell, bringing with it the terrible news like a cold knife piercing my heart. This time, I had asked for a day off in advance. I didn't state the reason, simply told Aunt Amy, my voice pleading, "Tomorrow I want to be with Grandma." Aunt Amy, a kind and understanding woman, gently patted my shoulder, her eyes full of sympathy. "Of course. Family comes first, Evelyn. Take good care of your grandma. Let me know if you need any help." I prepared everything early in the morning. cleaned the kitchen, laid out fresh tablecloths, cooked her favorite vegetable soup, put on the classical music she loved to listen to. She sat in her familiar armchair by the window, the gentle afternoon sunlight shining on her silver hair, her hands still swiftly knitted even stitches. Her eyes still sparkled with a gentle smile, but I noticed her hands seemed slower than usual today, her thin fingers sometimes pausing, as if trying to fight the fatigue that was gradually enveloping her body. Around 2 p.m., I heard a spoon drop. She stood up, took a step, then clutched her chest. Her face was pale, her eyes wide, as if trying to say something. "Grandma!" I screamed in horror, a piercing cry that tore through the quiet space, rushing to catch her just before her frail body collapsed onto the cold floor. Her hand was icy cold. Her breath was ragged, weak like a dying flame in a strong wind. The terrifying nightmare of my previous life rushed back like a ghost, squeezing my heart, paralyzing me for a moment. I yelled loudly for the neighbors. While waiting, I grabbed the emergency nitroglycerin bottle I had hidden under Grandma's pillow just in case. I slipped the pill under her tongue, rubbed her chest, and kept her head straight. Her eyes darted around, her lips turning purple, but she was still breathing. She was rushed to the hospital. The doctor said if we had arrived 10 minutes later, she might not have made it. I buried my head in her hand, tears falling onto the white bedsheet. Finally, I was with her, at the moment she needed me most. Late that night, she woke up. Her voice was weak but clear. "Evelyn, thank you, my dear." I squeezed her hand, too choked up to say anything. Later that night, I opened my phone to check messages. There was a new one from an unknown number. "Lara homne me fi itirbine chu." I froze. The blood in my veins seemed to stop flowing. My eyes widened to their fullest, staring at the cold, cryptic message on the phone screen. Grace. It could only be Grace. But how did she know exactly what I had changed? How did she know I had taken the day off to be with Grandma on this exact day? This coincidence was too suspicious. I quickly looked over at the hospital bed, where Grandma was sleeping peacefully, her breathing steady. My heart pounded faster, like war drums in my chest. A strange feeling, a vague but growing suspicion began to form in my mind. She also knows I've come back to life? How is that possible? I trembled as I dialed the number that had just sent the message. Called back. The phone rang endlessly. No one answered. But just a few minutes later, another message arrived, brief and challenging, filling me with utter dread. "Go ahead and save your grandma. But you can't change the outcome." I looked over at the hospital bed again, where Grandma was still sound asleep, completely unaware of the undertow raging within me. In my heart, an old vow, "Du koko ki lai bao nhiêu lần nữa, du số phận có trổ trêu đến đâu, tôi cũng sẽ không bao giờ để cô cướp đi người tôi yêu quý thêm một lần nào nữa. Và tôi sẽ tìm ra bí mật của cô Grace. Tôi sẽ khám phá ra làm thế nào cô biết được mọi chuyện. Tôi sẽ không để cô tiếp tục gieo rắc đau khổ và chết chóc." Evelyn has awakened, determined to reclaim the future for her grandmother. But Grace's appearance is like a cold blade, twisting deeper into the nascent hope. Lear Evelyn Kathe Chien Thung So Fern? Bimert Ko Grace Laji? The answer will come in episode 3. Don't miss it! Follow along to join Evelyn in battle. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts below. See you then!